We cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust our sails. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express and Press Information Bureau. So without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. Now recently, Supreme Court delivered a majority judgment affirming the constitutionality of Section 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955. The court ruled that section is a valid law that aligns with the constitutional value of fraternity. Talking about Section 6A, it was introduced in 1985 as a part of Assam Accord and it grants citizenship to individuals of Indian origin from Bangladesh who entered Assam before January 1st, 1966 and require those who arrived between January 1st, 1966 and March 25, 1971 to register for citizenship after 10 years of residence. Now Supreme Court is hearing petitions challenging the constitutional validity of Exception 2 to Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code and Exception 2 of the Section 63 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, which grants legal immunity to husband in cases of sexual intercourse with their wives, provided the wife is over 18. In this context, data indicate that nearly one-third of married women in India have faced physical or sexual violence from their husbands. Talking about marital rape exception, it has colonial origins linked to the doctrine of coverture, which limited a married woman's legal autonomy, and this doctrine was influenced by British jurist Matthew Haley in the 18th century. Talking about Section 375, it defines rape and lists conditions under which it applies, with exceptions allowing husbands to avoid prosecution if their wives are over 18, and Supreme Court previously raised the age limit from 15 to 18 in 2017. In this context, Karnataka High Court ruled that a husband can be prosecuted for raping his wife, and Delhi High Court delivered split verdict in which one judge deemed the marital rape exception unconstitutional while others supported it as part of marital expectations. Now recently, Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has recommended Justice Sanjeev Khanna for appointment as the 51st Chief Justice of India. This recommendation initiates the appointment process following the established protocol where Law Ministry seeks the outgoing Chief Justice input on the next appointment. And friends, Chief Justice of India and other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President under Clause 2 of the Article 124 of the Indian Constitution, and Article 217 deals with the appointment of High Court judges, and it says that President should consult the CGI, Governor and Chief Justice of High Court concerned, and tenure of CGI is until they attain the age of 65 years, and while High Court judges retire at the age of 62 years. Next article talks about direct tax, because in financial year 24, contribution of direct taxes to total tax revenue rose to 56.72%, which is highest in 14 years, while the direct tax to GDP ratio reached two-decade high of 6.64%, and here personal income tax collections exceeded corporate tax collections for the second consecutive year, and state-wise Maharashtra contributed about 39% of the direct tax revenue, followed by Karnataka and Delhi. And friends, there are mainly two types of taxes in India, which includes direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is a tax that individual pay directly to the government and cannot be transferred to someone else, and here example is income tax. On the other hand, indirect tax is levied on goods and services including service tax, VAT, central excise duty and stamp duty. The goods and services tax was introduced in India in 2017 to simplify tax collections from taxpayers. Now Union Cabinet has approved the continuation of the initiative to provide fortified rice under the government's schemes including Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana from July 2024 to December 2028. This initiative aims to combat micronutrient deficiencies in India. And friends, right fortification is a global practice with various countries allowing fortified rice without mandating advisory labels for specific health conditions, and in this context scientific evidence supports the safety of fortified rice for all, including individuals with thalassemia and sickle cell anemia. The rice fortification program began in India in 2019 and has been scaled up significantly. India's rice fortification aligns with WHO recommendations for countries where rice is a staple food. Now India has extended a line of credit worth of 487 crore to Mauritius government for water pipeline replacement project. This marks the first ever rupee denominated line of credit provided by India for project financing under the Indian Development Economic Assistance Scheme. This initiative underscores India's commitment to the socio-economic development of countries in the global south, aligning with the aspirations and needs of its partner nations. Now recently, President Draupadi Murmu emphasized the friendly bilateral relations between India and Malawi. India was one of the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Malawi after its independence in 1964. India is currently Malawi's fourth largest trading partner and one of the largest investors. Talking about Malawi, it is a landlocked country in Southeast Africa on the water-rich Lake Malawi. It shares borders with Mozambique, Tanzania, and Zambia. And highest mountain peak of Malawi is Mulanje. So with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.